So, you can choose any of those eyes to add to yours. It doesn't have to be these eyes with this hair. You could do those eyes with this hair, or these eyes with that hair. Up to you. Mix it up. I want to see lots and lots of different faces. The next thing I always draw, can you remember? It's the mouth. And I'll show you a few different ways of doing the mouth. Now, sometimes I just do two curvy lines, give a bit of a cheeky grin. I think I'll do that on this lady here. That's made her look a bit evil, unfortunately, like she's plotting something. But I'm sticking with it. She's got a cheeky grin. I might do a open mouth, like somebody's snoring. We gave this girl over here sleepy eyes, didn't we? So should we give her a snoring mouth like this? And I would just do that by drawing a big circle. That's all I would do, just a big circle. I'll show you the more realistic mouth that we did last week on this one in the middle, just because I've got a bit more space. We draw the top lip, and then the very bottom lip, and then just sort of a dash in the middle to show you. Often with detailed drawings, or like more realistic drawings, the trick is just to draw a lot less. Like you think you need to do all of the outlines, you don't. If you look really closely at somebody's face, you can't see all of those outlines. So when we're drawing, sometimes what you need to do is just think about doing a little bit less. Now, I think this guy, we gave him big laughing eyes, didn't we? So should we give him a big, really open, ha ha ha, laughing mouth? It's going to look almost like an emoji, which is a brilliant way of taking inspiration. So I'm going to do exactly the same as I did over here. Draw that top lip shape, but this time it's going to be more smiley. And the bottom lip shape is going to be really open. And he's going to have big creases there, because we get big creases in the side of our mouth when we're smiling. He's starting to look really like he's having a good time. And over here, I think his eyes look a little bit sad. So I might give him a mouth that's a little bit sad, a little bit downturned. And I do exactly the same as I normally do. Top lip, but I'm making it sort of point down a little bit. And then that bottom lip, I'm going to make point down too. And I'm really going to exaggerate that line across the middle. That's sad. Sad face. Again, mix it up. You can choose any of these that you like when you're drawing your face. Or something different if your mouth looks different to you. Can you remember what came next? Noses. I'm going to show you a few different ways of doing noses. Let's recap over here with this chap what we did last time. We followed the line from the eyebrow down and we drew in that sort of side. So following that imaginary line and then giving them a little one like that. Drawing the nostrils nice and small, and then the other side of the nose as well, if you like. If you like drawing faces that are really simple and cartoony, you might choose to go for a nose that's just sort of a one-liner. Let's put one on him. Again, I'm going to start with the eyebrow, leave a bit of a gap and then follow that same line down and give him just sort of an L shape for the nose. I'll draw that a bit bigger up here so you can see. I've just done that. It's not pointy. Remember last week we said not a witch, not pointy. Another option is not really to draw the nose at all. And again, 9 times out of 10, that's what I would do. In fact, on this lady over here, I'm not going to draw the nose at all because I just wouldn't do it. In this simple face, I wouldn't draw a nose. But if I come over here to this other fairly simple face, particularly because she's got her head tilted back a bit, I could just do the nostrils. So just those two little, 1, 2, nostrils, and that's all I'm going to do for the nose. Doesn't need to be anything more than that. Or I could try something a little bit more ambitious, and let's do this to Miss Doyle. Oh, Miss Doyle's only ended up with one eyebrow. It's Put the other one in. I've made her look a bit surprised. The face isn't looking much like Miss Doyle, but the hair does. Take the eyebrow line, follow it down, add in the tip of the nose, those tiny little nostrils. And on this one, I'm going to draw the whole other side of the nose as well, following it down. And then that sort of softer bit that comes around. And that's what you might do if you were wanting to draw the whole nose. I think it's too much. That's why I normally do a little bit less than that. But that gives you a few options of drawing noses, including my personal favourite, don't draw the nose at all, just don't do it. So, the last thing I would do after choosing my style of hair, my style of eyes, my style of mouth, my style of nose, is to look at my face and think about adding a bit of detail. I'm looking at these thinking, what detail could I add? And that detail might be, I don't want a floating head, I want to draw some shoulders. And I'm looking at this guy laughing and I'm thinking his head would be right down here, like ha 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 ha, and his shoulders right up. So I would draw his shoulders, coming almost out of the side of his head, which we'd never normally do, but it gives him that impression of them being up here. And then just put some little shadows in to help out with that. And if I wanted, I could give him like stripy sleeves or something, but just leave him just now with his shoulders up around his ears. I might want to add a great big scarf. Quite like the idea that this lady's in a great big scarf. And that would be like this, sort of a scarf shape around her neck. And then I draw in her shoulders much lower down than I did with that little boy. Much lower down because she's not got them up round her ears in quite the same way. You can see how her face would sit. I might decide to actually draw a neck. You can tell that's something I avoid. When I draw a neck, it's similar to when I draw faces, I start with the hair. When I draw a neck, I start with where the clothes are. So if I wanted to give this character here a neck, I'd think, well, maybe I will draw sort of the shape of her t-shirt first, and then fill in the neck around that. It's really important to remember when we do that, this isn't empty space. That's hair. So this hair comes in front, but there's hair behind it as well, so to fill that in as hair. That's just a really simple thing you can do that'll make your drawings look a lot more realistic. And I might decide to add some more detail into that lovely curly hair as well, just by adding a few more lines. All of these are great options. I might look at this lady and decide she could do with a bit of a fringe poking out. If you wanted to give her a bit of a fringe, you could do that, that's absolutely fine. Over here, again, I might just add some more detail into that hair. Just adding sort of random lines really. And again, maybe think about putting in a neck. You can combine these ideas in any way you like, it's totally up to you. But hopefully that helps you to draw a face that is a little bit less like me and a little bit more like you. Best of luck with it. I really hope you send me your drawings. Please, 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 please. See you next week. Bye!